Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be doing a quick how to build session of custom Lego weapons. Now a couple of you might remember these from a cousin collab I did a long time ago when I just started my channel with my cousin Anthony from AGL Studios. Huge shout out to you, Anthony, if you're watching this. Definitely be sure to go check out and subscribe to his channel if you enjoy his content. That's AGL Studios. Sadly, my cousin is not here to do this revised version with me, but huge shout out to you, Anthony, and thank you so much for helping me design a couple of these. Now, 3 of these are modeled off of, Star Wars, kind of. They don't really exist, and then 2 of them are actually modeled off real-world weapons, such as this small sniper rifle over here, and then the rocket launcher over there. And then these 3 in the middle are just my own type of designs that I have for a couple of my Star Wars troopers. But without further ado, we're going to start off with the 3 in the middle, and then we'll close out with the real-world ones. But without further ado, I do want to say, subscribe, drop a like if you haven't. And if you're watching my content and are not subscribed, I really do encourage you to do so, because it would help the channel a lot. And without further ado, let's get into it. First, we're going to be starting off with the simplest of the 5, which is going to be the actual kind of like little trooper rifle, if you will. It's the smallest of the 5. And for those of you who have not checked out my other how to build, I believe I did a minigun and a bigger sniper rifle. Definitely be sure to go check that out. That'll be in my how to build playlist. Without further ado, let me disassemble this for you so I can show you how to make it. Here are all the parts laid out, kind of exploded in the order that you're going to want to do it in. So first thing you're going to need is the traditional Lego Star Wars blaster. Now, if you don't have one of these, you definitely don't have any Star Wars sets, because this is in almost every single Star Wars set that I can think of. So you're going to definitely want one of those, and a black cone piece. Again, this can be in any color, just as long as the actual parts themselves match. And you're just going to want to stick that cone piece with the pointed end in front onto the back of that rifle. Just like that. Next, you're going to want to take a minifigure hand. This is just what I decided to use kind of for the sight. This is all in black to kind of match it, but again, in any color that you want. And you're going to just want to stick that onto the front, just like that. You can do it that way, or you can reverse it to where the sight kind of leans back. I prefer that way. And then last but not least, you're going to need a lightsaber piece, and hopefully you do have a lot of these if you do have a good amount of Star Wars Legos. I chose a gunmetal gray one just to kind of spice up the colors a little bit and not have it be all black. And then you're just going to want to stick that and push your minifigure hand back a little bit on the front of the barrel, of the existing barrel. And there you go. That is how to build a small little rifle. Now this is for a, compared to a minifigure, it would be kind of a rifle for a ground trooper. And taking that away to give you one more look. You can pause the video at any moment. And now let's move on to the next one. Here's the second rifle that we're going to show you how to build. I'm just going to give you one quick look at it. You probably can already get the parts from just looking at it. But as I said, you could pause the video at any time. And do feel free to leave down in the comment section down below and let me know if you actually intend on using these techniques and like the techniques themselves. Alright, now let me disassemble it for you to show you how to make it. Here are the parts in exploded order. The first thing you're going to want is the longer Star Wars sniper rifle, if you will, or assault rifle, whatever you'd like to call it. It's got that nice stock at the end of it. But you're going to want one of the longer ones compared to the traditional Star Wars smaller blasters. One of these little claw or clip pieces. The first thing you're going to do is just want to stick it onto the existing longer barrel. Just make sure that it snaps in nice and tight, and push that all the way to the back. Take your little lightsaber piece and you can just stick that onto the front of the existing barrel just to make it look a little bit longer. Could be a suppressor of some sort. And then you're going to take this kind of ski piece. You can get this in gray or black to match. I personally only have it in white, so that's why the colors don't really match. And you're just going to want to stick that on the top of this rifle. Again, this one is definitely not modeled off of anything existing as far as I know, just kind of my own little design. I thought that looked pretty cool for some type of Star Wars weapon. I'll give you one last final look. And this, again, compared to a minifigure, would be more of this one for a ground trooper, just a longer rifle. And let's move on to the next one. Getting into more of the complex type of weapons, here is a look at the modified rifle, as I like to call it. This one, my cousin Anthony really helped me out with, so again, huge shout out to you, Ant. Alright, give you a look at that one. And I'm gonna explode the order out for you to get a better look. So here is the weapon in exploded order. The first thing you're going to want is, I personally got this particular weapon from the Jurassic World sets, the tranquilizer guns. They just stuck a little green needle in there. But you can get one of these for the clip, most importantly. And then you're going to take one of these Technic pins, the longer Technic pins, and stick that onto the front of the barrel. I only personally have this type of tranquilizer gun in dark gray, so it's not going to match the black that I picked out for it, but that's okay. Again, the colors is not as important as the actual parts themselves. These lightsaber blades, or lightsaber handles, as I should say, not the blades, are coming in handy with a lot of these, as you may notice. You're just going to stick that onto the clip part, just like that. And then you're going to take this telescope piece. This could be a lightsaber piece, but they're most noted for their telescope piece. And you want to stick that on the front of your lightsaber, just like that. I did have to try a couple of times to kind of get that on. You might have a little bit of trouble with the rim of that Technic piece, but eventually it should lock into place. And then last but not least, another minifigure hand. You're just going to stick onto the edge of the scope there. And you could have it that way, but I prefer it leaning towards the person that's holding it, whoever that may be. And there you go. And again, this compared to a minifigure would be more of a, as I said, modified or upgraded rifle, still for, ground assault. Now getting into the rocket launcher, this was actually modeled off of real-world rocket launchers. I'm going to actually do this particular one in segments since we do have a little bit of complexity here. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first pieces you're going to need is the smaller Star Wars blaster, kind of like the pistol piece, another lightsaber piece, and then you're going to want a Technic cylinder right here. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your Technic cylinder, as I like to call them, and your lightsaber handle. You're just going to stick those two together firmly, just like that. And then you're just going to stick that onto that little tiny tail of that smaller blaster, just like that. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do. Now bringing in the second bit, another lightsaber piece, and then you're going to want to take one of these dark gray clips, or in any color that you would like, and stick that onto the top of the lightsaber piece, just like that. Give you a second to look at what we've done so far. And then we're just going to stick that onto the front of the existing barrel, just like that. Give you a quick look at that. And then bringing in the actual projectile itself, you're going to want one of these ice cream cones, preferably in the color that you actually, whatever color you decided to make the main portion of the weapon, if it light gray, dark gray, or in my case black. And then you're going to want to take, I prefer a different colored stud for the middle. I chose dark gray to kind of match up with the dark gray clip there, and to kind of just, spice up the colors a little bit, make kind of like a sandwich, which you'll see in a minute. And then another black cone, and stick it in just like that. And that was the sandwich color effect I was talking about there. And then that little tail of the ice cream cone is going to stick right into the front of your lightsaber piece. And there you go. There is your rocket launcher, and compared to a figure, I think that definitely looks pretty cool. And last but not least, we'll be finishing off with the smaller sniper rifle. Now this is a great deal smaller than my original sniper rifle that I did a build tutorial on. Here it is for comparison. Now that one is more for maybe mounted on an actual tank or truck, and this is more for an actual minifigure to hold, because if you compare both of these to a minifigure, I don't really think this minifigure could sling that around his back, but I did make this after I made this one, kind of like a modified version for an actual figure. So I'm taking this out of the way. I'm also going to do this one in segments since we do have a little bit complexity here. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first piece you're going to need is the speaker, I like to call it, or the original Star Wars blasters from the very old sets. And you're going to want to take another clip piece. Give you a quick look at that. And you're just going to stick the speaker portion of it, if you will, onto the stud of the clip piece. Make sure that's all lined up just like that. And yet again, you're going to want to take your telescope piece and stick that on that clip, with the bigger portion facing the front and the smaller portion facing the back. Then you're going to want to take black cylinder piece here, and then you want to stick that in just like that, so it's kind of flush with the scope. And now let's move on to the barrel portion. The pieces you'll need for that is yet again another lightsaber piece and these longer pole pieces, and you're just going to want to stick the lightsaber piece on the front of the pole piece just like that, and then you're just going to stick it into the cylinder like that. Now, to make it even more like a traditional sniper rifle, if you will, you can make a bipod without using antenna pieces like my original. Again, these black minifigure hands are also very helpful, and you're going to want 2 of those, and you could stick them just like that. And then with a view from the front, if you just spread them apart, it kind of makes a little bipod. Not very effective because I mean, this portion of the speaker is just a little bit longer, so it kind of just rests on that, but that's kind of the look I was going for there. And again, compared to my original, which was much bigger, I definitely think that I like this one better compared to a minifigure. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I do hope you found this helpful. If you enjoyed these particular how to build videos, leave it down in the comment section down below. As well, if you intend on using these techniques, any feedback is greatly appreciated. If you're watching my content and are not subscribed, as I said in the beginning of this video, I do encourage you to do so because it would help the channel a lot. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. Christmas is coming up soon. I do intend to be doing some Christmas specials. I'll hopefully be able to get a Lego Advent Calendar. I might do those daily, December 1 through 25th, on the days that they occur, or I might just do it once I have opened up all of them. I haven't decided on that yet. I don't even know if I plan on getting them. I know that my cousin Anthony from AGL Studios is planning on doing them daily. I'm not sure, so don't hold me to that. But as I said at the beginning of this video, definitely be sure to go check out and subscribe to his channel, and subscribe to mine if you haven't. Thank you all for watching, and remember, you can never have too much bricks. See you in the next video, and keep building.